welcome back to the Taste of Life. So today I would like to start a journey with you. The journey of stepping onto that bridge and crossing that bridge step by step to a life of well-being, of limitless possibility, of joy, of inner peace. And that first step on the journey is claiming your power. Now, what does that mean, claiming your power? Because the word power can have such a negative connotation. And it's not that kind of power that I want to talk about at all. What I want to talk about today is your inner power, the discovery of the power that you hold, that you have inside of you to determine what your life looks and feels like. And if you're like me, then you probably don't even realize you have that kind of power. And maybe you're saying right now, well, that's easily said because, I'm not that kind of person. I cannot create my life. Like there's certain situations and circumstances in my life that I cannot change. So I am definitely not that powerful person that you are talking about. Well, yes, you are. And honestly, I did not believe that either. Like for many, many years, for most of my life, I gave my power away. I was always looking for reassurance, for safety, for love outside of myself. I was looking everywhere except inside of me. So I needed other people to make me feel safe, to make me feel loved, to make me feel important. I gave my power away to teachers, doctors, bosses, friends, parents, my husband, my children. I constantly gave my power away. I was a master in giving my power away, and I never, ever considered myself a powerful person. So it never even occurred to me that I had that kind of power inside of me. Until, as I told you before, 2011, when I started my journey after I was diagnosed with cancer, and step by step, I started looking at the beliefs that I had, the beliefs about myself, and I indeed discovered how I gave that power away. And bit by bit, I started claiming that power. And what does that mean, claiming that power? It means taking full responsibility over your life. It means no longer blaming what you are experiencing or what you are feeling on outside circumstances. Because, it is indeed true. We cannot change the situation. We cannot change the circumstances. But we do have the power. We do have the power to change how we look at the situation, how we perceive the situation, and what we are going to do with it. We can always make a choice, and we can either go for the worst outcome or for the best outcome. And that was something that I dealt with many, many times when I was going through my severe anxiety and fear after my cancer diagnosis. And the mind has this tendency of always going to the worst outcome and of making up stories and of really just giving that power away in massive amounts. And I discovered then, why should I do that? Why should I allow my mind to lead me into worst case scenarios? I didn't know what was going to happen. I could not foresee the future. So then why should I not create the best outcome? And, focus on that. And by that, change my experience in this present moment. Because all those outcomes are based on a future, and we do not know what the future holds, but we do have the power to change our present moment and to change how we experience this present moment. And even if circumstances in this present moment are not ideal, and I can tell you, when you're going through a cancer diagnosis, they are certainly not ideal. And the situation we are moving through in the world right now is definitely not ideal. And yes, we cannot change the situation that is happening right now. But we do have the power to change our thoughts. Like at every single moment of every single day, we have the power to decide on our thoughts. So my question to you about the situation that is happening in the world right now, let's take that as an example on how to claim your power, is how do you perceive the situation? How do you see the situation? Do you see it as maybe the end of the world? Or do you see it as a fresh and new beginning of a different world? Do you perceive the situation as an evil, or do you see it as a necessary shift? Do you feel as a victim in this situation, or do you feel that you are being a co-creator of a new and better world? How you perceive the situation, what your thoughts are about the situation, what your thoughts are about your role, who you are in this very moment, in this situation, will determine your experience of life in this moment. And I know that when a situation is as challenging as we are facing now, that it's not easy. It's not easy to claim the power over your thoughts and claim the power over your emotions. But I can tell you that step by step, yes, you can do it. Because step by step, I did it when I was going through this extreme anxiety, through this darkness, through these fears, which I'm basically very, very much reminded of right now in this situation. But because I moved through them, I have tools, and I know now that they are a part of me. So I'm not asking you to run away from your thoughts or your emotions or to push them away. I'm asking you to claim your power, to accept and to realize that you have an enormous power inside of you, that you are the one who decides on how you're going to perceive this very moment. And it is this very moment that's the only thing that we have. Nothing else exists than this exact moment in time. And you have the power to create that moment. You have the power to create how you experience life. And the only thing you need to make that shift, the only thing you need to start claiming your power is the willingness to do so. The only thing you need is that little spark, that little inkling of trust that indeed you do have that power. And that will change everything. And over the coming weeks, I will share with you 7 stories that I wrote in this step, Claiming Your Power. 7 stories of situations, of emotions that arose while I was on my journey. And I may shed a light on how you can step into claiming your power and really make that first step onto the bridge of a life of well-being, of inner peace, of limitless possibility, of joy. Now today I would like to leave you with a few tips, because that is what I promised you, on how you can claim your power. So my first tip would be to become aware of your thoughts and the emotions they create. And then I would like you to try to replace the thoughts that create stress and anxiety with thoughts that create an opening, a space to breathe. And I want you not to bother about what's possible, what's not possible, what is more or less likely. You have no control over what will happen. You do not know the outcome or the future. But you do have control over what you want to feel right now in this moment. My tip number 2, for this specific situation that is going on in the world right now, do not give power to the media about how you feel or what your life experience is right now. It's a trap, and don't fall into it. You are the one who has the power on how you want to feel. And so if you feel joy or if you feel happiness, do not feel guilty about it, because those emotions are so good to experience right now. Those emotions are what lifting up the world right now, and that is what we need so very much. And my tip number 3 for today is acknowledge your power, bless your power, and most importantly, believe in your power. Take that first step to believe in the power that you hold inside. I promise you it's there. I never thought it was, but I found it step by step. And you will find it too, step by step. I promise you that. So that was it for today. Again, if you have questions or you want to reach out to me, you have any remarks, something you want to share with me, something you want to ask me, please reach out. Like, leave me a comment, go to my website, send me an email, and I will get back to you, I promise. I thank you for listening today, and I'm looking forward to diving into this step, claiming your power, next week, and really take it story by story, giving you some more valuable tips on sharing my experiences on how to access that beautiful source of power inside of you. Thank you for now. I hope to see you next week, and I wish you a beautiful day.